morning, class. For today's lecture, we will learn about land breeze and sea breeze. So, we're starting. In our last class, we learned about GMT. We also learned about international dateline. So, international dateline is at 180 degree. It is opposite to the prime meridian, which is 0 degree at Greenwich. So, once we move east, we are losing 24 hours, but we're gaining a day. Once we move west, we are gaining 24 hours, but we're losing a day. Similarly, every 15 degree of longitude is equals to 1 hour, right? And then we learned about latitudes and longitudes. Heat deficit is your temperates and your polar region, and your heat surplus is your tropical areas, right? Then we have learned about prime meridian, which moves through Greenwich, and it is known as GMT, and it is 0 degree, right? Today we'll be learning about land breeze and sea breeze. So sea breeze. So sea breeze is a coastal wind that blows from the sea towards the land during the day. It is caused by temperature differences between the land and the sea. Causes during the day the land heats up more quickly than the water due to differences in specific heat capacity. As a result, the air over the land becomes warmer and less dense than the air over the sea. Temperature differences. The warmer air over the land rises, creating a zone of lower pressure. Meanwhile, cooler air over the sea remains denser, creating a zone of high pressure. The pressure difference between the warmer, lower air pressure over the land and the cooler, high pressure area over the sea creates a pressure gradient that drives the sea breeze. So, firstly, with the definition, sea breeze is a coastal wind that blows from the sea towards the land during the day. It is caused by temperature difference between the land and the sea. During the day, the land heats up more quickly than the water. So this is firstly it's in the day. So sea breeze is in the day, right? From sea to land, right? So this must be your high pressure. This will be your low pressure. So something like this. In heat capacity, as a result, the air over land becomes warmer and less dense than the air over the sea. So is it as land becomes warmer, it will become your low pressure. The warmer air over the lies creating a zone of lower pressure. Meanwhile, the cooler air over the sea remains denser, creating a zone of higher pressure. The pressure difference between the warmer, lower pressure air over the land and the cooler, high pressure area over the sea creates a pressure gradient that drives the sea breeze. So, this is your entire definition of sea breeze. So, firstly, they will ask when does it happen? It's in the day. From where to where? It's from the sea to land. Why from sea to land? Because during the day, the land heats up quickly, thus creating low pressure area. The sea warms up slowly, thus creating a high pressure area. Air always moves from high to low pressure, thus from sea to land. That's all for sea breeze. You can write down these important points from here. Then we go on to wind direction, speed, strength, and timing. So wind direction, wind blows from areas of high pressure to areas of low pressure, resulting in a breeze that blows from sea to the land. Speed and strength. Sea breezes are typically stronger, more noticeable than land breezes because the temperature difference between land and sea is greater during the day. Timing. Sea breeze usually begin in late morning or early afternoon, reaching their peak strength in the afternoon. So peak strength is the afternoon. This is very important point here. Very, very important. Peak strength in the afternoon, weakening in the evening. Sea breezes have various effects, including cooling coastal area during hot day, influencing local weather patterns and affecting activities such as sailing, surfing, and kite flying. Now we come on to land breeze. So land breeze occur due to temperature difference between the land and the sea at night. So we can say this is at night from land to sea. Sea will be low pressure, land will be high pressure from land to sea. So this is your key. So land breeze occurs due to temperature difference between the land and the sea. At night, the land cools down more rapidly than the sea because soil loses heat faster than water. High pressure area. As the land cools, the air above it also cools, creating a high pressure area over the land mass. Air movement. Air moves from areas of high pressure land to areas of low pressure. We can see here, land it cools up fast, so it will be high pressure. Sea it stays warm, it will be low pressure. Thus, from high to low. This movement of air from land to sea is what creates the land breeze. Direction. Land breeze typically blow from the land towards the sea, opposite to the direction of sea breeze, which blow from sea to land during the day. Done. Just write down the points here. Then we come on to stability. So land breezes are generally more stable and consistent compared to sea breeze. They tend to be stronger and more predictable during the night when the temperature differentials are most pronounced. Effects. Land breezes can have effects on local weather patterns such as cooling coastal areas and affecting marine activities like sailing. Formation. Land breezes usually start to develop shortly after sunset as the land cools down and they continue through the night until early morning when the land starts to warm up again. Thus, we can say stability. So, land breeze is generally more stable and consistent compared to sea breeze. So, land breeze is more stable. They tend to be more stronger and predictable during the night. Then we come on to effects. So, land breezes can have effects on local weather patterns such as cooling coastal area and affecting marine activity like sailing. Formation. Land breezes usually start to develop shortly after sunset as the land cools down, and they continue through the night until early morning when the land starts to warm up again. So they start develop after sunset. This is important point here, after sunset, and it stops at early morning. Stops at early morning, starts at early sunset. This is your points from land breeze. So we can see here the diagram for sea breeze. So land is hot, it's low pressure. Sea gets warm slowly, it's high pressure. Thus, it goes from high pressure to low pressure. Similarly, this is during the day. We have land breeze. So land breeze is at the night. So at night, land cools down faster. So it will be your high pressure. Sea cools down slowly. It will be your low pressure. Thus, from land to sea. So this is your chapter and this is about land breeze and sea breeze. So next class we'll be learning about rocks and rocks classification. Thank you class.